Welcome to the Disrupt Your Career podcast, brought to you by Claire Harbour
and Antoine Tirant. We're passionate about helping everyone find fulfillment in their work life.
We believe that big, messy, uncharted career changes are inevitable, and it's up to you to decide.
Will you take control and disrupt, or allow yourself to be disrupted?
We wrote the book about it, and now we share here our conversations with other thinkers in this crucial area.
Settle down and get ready to listen to this dose of wisdom. Welcome to this special year-end episode of the Disrupt Your Career podcast. We're thrilled to have you with us today for a very unique wrap-up.
Hello, and welcome to our Career Advice Best of 2024 episode. Today, we're taking a look back at some of the most inspiring and practical career insights we've gathered from our incredible guests this year.
2024 has been an incredible year for the Disrupt Your Career podcast and for our publications. We're so excited to celebrate it with all of you, our listeners and readers, who make this journey so rewarding.
So, let's take a quick look back at some of the highlights. This year alone, we had conversations with 12 inspiring new guests. We hosted 8 author chats on the DYC podcast. We saw record-breaking download numbers, and we published 5 thought-provoking articles that reached a growing community worldwide.
So whether you're a new listener or have been with us for a while, we're truly grateful to have you along for the ride. And we're already working hard to make 2025 even more impactful, so stay tuned.
As we head into our best of episode, we'd love for you to reconsider sharing it with someone, or even many people, who could benefit from these insights. Together, we're building a space where talent and career development are being reimagined. Now, Antoine, what can our listeners expect from our special episode today?
Well, every month, we sit down with a new guest and dive deep into topics around career development, leadership, and talent management. One question we always ask is, what advice do you have for early career professionals who are just starting out?
And the responses are often surprising, always practical, and really resonate with our listeners. So today, we've compiled some of the best advice from this year's interviews for you.
Whether you're just starting your career or looking for actionable guidance at any stage, we're confident you will find plenty of ideas, inspiration, and practical steps to apply in your own journey.
So, who will you be hearing from in this special episode? Get ready for insights from Julia Goodman, Valerie Sutton, Octavia Goredema, Riet Grond, Asad Husain, André Martin, Carmen Wee, Sarah Wittman, Mosongo Moukwa, Joerg Staff, Legg, and Isabel Berwick.
We hope you enjoyed this curated episode and find valuable takeaways to carry with you into the new year. Thank you for being a part of Disrupt Your Career.
Let's dive in.
First up is the amazing Julia Goodman. Julia is a seasoned actor, director, and producer. She founded the pioneering U-brand methodology to help people and organizations reach their full potential.
In this January episode, which we called Crafting Presence and Developing Your Authentic Personal Brand, we discussed Julia's journey from actress to leadership coach. She talks about her book, U-Brand, A Manual for Confidence, and she shares her tips on authentic communication in video and AI interviews, for example.
Here is Julia's advice for young professionals.
When it comes down to the young person, they're being judged, feeling exposed, feeling vulnerable, going into interviews, going into whatever it is, they are almost worse off now. So the advice I would give is read the book, try the exercises out so you can actually see what the difference is between the way you think you come over and the way other people actually experience you, and everyone's different. So how do you find that confident, neutral space where you can be more of yourself and not worry about what's coming at you?
In February, I had a conversation with Valerie Sutton. She's a thought leader in career coaching with experience at Harvard and Wharton. She's coached hundreds and is a LinkedIn learning instructor who is passionate about creating career consciousness.
In this episode, which we called Creating Career Consciousness and Aligning Your Career Path with Your Unique Identity, Valerie shares her career journey from university career head to co-founder. She also shares her advice for early professionals and insights on networking. What advice does Valerie have for young professionals? Let's take a listen.
Start with your values, because some people just want a job. They don't want a career, and there's some type of theme behind your career and you're navigating in different spaces. Look at a working identity. Like I said, that's what are your passions? What are the skills you love to use? What's the work culture and your life needs? So this allows you to make effective decisions in your career and also leads you to getting exposed to careers that match your identity versus going to your folks and saying, hey, what should I do? And they're like, well, accounting's a safe job and you can get a pension.
Then in March, we had Octavia Goredema on our show. Octavia is a coach who is dedicated to helping underrepresented professionals advance their careers. She's also the author of the great book, Prep, Push, Pivot. I had a great discussion with Octavia. She talked about her career journey, her insights from Prep, Push, Pivot, her advice for professionals, and her vision for talent and career management.
Octavia has some great advice for early career professionals. Let's take a listen.
Early in your career, even if you make a change, you're early in that new career as well. There's lots of early stages, not just beginning with your first or second job, but your early stage. It can feel incredibly overwhelming. You don't want to put a foot wrong, and you will feel, I don't really know what I'm doing yet. The first thing to do is to know that you're not going to have everything go perfectly and you're not going to know all the answers, but it's really important to look around you, have career-focused conversations with peers. If you have the opportunity to align with mentors, people who are a year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever tenure ahead of you, that's really valuable, but don't underestimate peers that are walking alongside you.
Our April episode features Riet Grond. He's a former colleague of mine from Novartis. Riet is the seasoned HR executive with over 25 years of global experience across the entire HR function. He's known for leading transformative change and fostering high-performing and inspiring work environments.
In this episode, titled Leadership and Career Lessons from the Summit, I spoke with Riet about his career journey, what he learned from working with diverse leaders, and his passion for mountaineering as a leadership metaphor. Here's what Riet has to say on embracing the unexpected in your career path.
10 years ago, I would probably have a very different advice than today. One, because I think I've had a few lessons since, but I also think because the world has changed since quite dramatically. This notion of wanting to have a bit of a path that we can follow, that we would like to basically go through different steps, because we assume certain learnings coming with these steps. And I think more than ever, by having such a path, we create a very narrow world of opportunities. We may be biased on experiences where we know what we get in terms of learning. So to me, it would be to stay curious for different experiences that might give you the learnings that you're after. And some non-obvious experiences might actually give you a disproportionate learning impact and therefore allow you to be better prepared for the next steps.
In May, we had Asad Husain on the Disrupt Your Career podcast. Asad is a seasoned HR leader with over 30 years in top companies like Gillette, P&G, or Dun & Bradstreet. He's also the author of the book Careers Unleashed, and he is now on a mission to share his insights and inspire future leaders worldwide.
During our discussion with Asad, he talked about his global career journey, his insights on finding one's true north, and he shared advice from Careers Unleashed, emphasizing self-awareness and the importance of career conversations.
Asad encourages young professionals to embrace their careers as a journey, to explore different paths without feeling pressured to lock down one direction too early. Let's listen to him.
I don't think that people need to lock down what they want to do very early on. It's the journey. So treat it as a journey. Try different things. And, doors will open for you to be able to walk into that. So don't feel that I have to choose and I have to commit. Careers are getting longer. We're living longer.
Our June episode features André Martin, an experienced organizational psychologist and talent leader who has worked with top brands like Nike, Disney, and Google. André wrote the great book, Wrong Fit, Right Fit. In this episode, André shares insights from his career journey, lessons from working with iconic leaders, and key ideas from his book, Wrong Fit, Right Fit.
André has plenty of advice for professionals about finding the right job fit.
So when I talk to a lot of the interviewees, I ask them, I'm like, hey, you landed in this wrong fit experience. When did you know? And they all chuckled and said, I knew in the interview. And I ignored all the signs because I wanted the bigger title, the better paycheck, work for the cooler brand, all these things that we know aren't aligned to job satisfaction over time. So the first lesson is you have to know yourself.
In July, we spoke with Carmen Wee, a seasoned global HR leader and board member based in Singapore. She's also the author of From the Kampung to the Boardroom, My Leadership Journey.
In this episode, Carmen shares insights from her career journey, lessons from leadership transitions, and key ideas from her book. She offers specific advice for professionals who are considering a career in human resources.
I would say HR is not for everybody. It's not about being nice or just because I like to work with people, therefore HR is for me. In fact, you'll be very surprised. It is actually very far from what you think it is. Most people get into HR and they are very surprised that it did not turn out the way, they expected it. But assuming that they had decided to work in HR, then I would say that you must believe that HR is a key enabler and a key partner in the business. If you do not believe in that, and perhaps you're not really getting anywhere.
In August, we rekindled our tradition of inviting academics and had the pleasure of hosting Sarah Wittman, an assistant professor of management at George Mason University's School of Business. Sarah's research explores people's transitions within, across, and beyond organizational boundaries. In my conversation with Sarah, we discuss her own career journey, advice for aspiring academics, and the ideas from some of her published articles.
We ask Sarah to reflect on her 18-year-old self and share the best piece of advice she would have given herself when she was younger. Here's what she said.
Probably to chill out. I've always been a list maker, right? I've always been a person who's, said, how do we get from point A to point B? But I think embracing a little bit of the serendipity and saying, it's okay. Today's going to look a mess. Tomorrow maybe too. But in that mess making, there are patterns that in retrospect become clear. And so, making it okay, and this is what I would encourage any young person to do, is say, it's okay to not have it all figured out.
In September, we invited Mosongo Moukwa on our show. Mosongo is a seasoned executive and consultant with over 30 years' worth of experience helping companies innovate and expand into new markets. And he's known for his legacy in developing talent.
In this episode, Mosongo shares insight on his journey from scientist to manager. He also talks about the role of human connection in leadership and the key lessons from his book titled Be a Leader of Significance. That's a book that highlights how trust and small gestures build impactful teams. Let's have a listen to Mosongo's advice to early career professionals.
Well, I would ask them to envision what they would like to see in their dossier at the end of 3 years. So this should include your participation and contribution to a major company initiative, the specific skills that you need to acquire, and a plan for increasing your visibility, both internally and externally. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because you're going to make lots of them, but continue to push through any barrier that gets put in your place. It's very much a journey. Learn from everything and everybody and everything you know, every interaction that you're going to have. But just keep pushing through and do it with a smile. And you should be okay.
In our October episode, we invited Joerg Staff, who's a chief people officer with over 20 years of experience in HR and transformation at companies like SAP and DHL in Germany. Joerg specializes in digital transformation and employee experience and is recognized as a thought leader in the future of work.
In this episode, Joerg shares his career journey, the key leadership lessons he learned, and insights on human-centric leadership, digitalization, and the future of work. We asked Joerg to share the best advice he would have given himself when he was 18 years old.
Be open for new ideas, for new opportunities. Try to learn every day. So make this to a DNA of yourself, learning all the time. Try things and also learn from errors. Follow your heart, not only your rational and your emotions. Find what makes you tick, I would say. Find out what is important for you at that stage of life. Yeah, networking, I think, is also a good thing. Yeah, build a kind of network around you, personally as well as professionally.
In October, we had a conversation with Ben Legg, who enjoyed the first part of his career in the Army, at McKinsey, Coca-Cola, Google, and other tech companies. He now helps entrepreneurs and professionals build portfolio careers through his business, the Portfolio Collective, which is the leading community for portfolio professionals. In this episode, Ben discusses his career journey, the rise of portfolio careers, how he launched the Portfolio Collective, and the importance of career agility, networking, and effective talent management, all of which was music to our ears.
Indeed. Ben's advice for young professionals is to start side hustles early to build skills, to build confidence, and build a valuable network. Have a listen.
So the first thing I'd say, start a side hustle as young as you possibly can. So in essence, the moment you hear this podcast, if you haven't got a side hustle, start one. Why? Why not? I mean, it's so easy. Just start doing stuff on the side, maybe for free as a hobby initially, but eventually find a way to make money. It teaches you entrepreneurial skills. It builds a network beyond your day job or your studies. It gives you confidence to go out and pitch stuff.
Our final episode of 2024 ended up on a high note with the renowned guest, Isabel Berwick. She's a longtime Financial Times journalist. She's the host of the Working It podcast on workplace trends. And she's also the author of the Amazon bestseller, The Future-Proof Career.
In this episode, Isabel shares her journey from journalism to hosting the Working It podcast and writing The Future-Proof Career, emphasizing leadership, flexibility, and networking in career management. Here's what she said when we asked her for advice to her younger self and to early career professionals.
What I wish I'd known is that the first thing might not be the best thing or the last thing. You don't have to make a decision. And for most people, careers are a mixture of intention and chance. And you can make your own chances to a certain extent through things like networking, connection, getting out there a little bit. But actually, we're all works in progress.
Well, Claire, that was an incredible journey through the wisdom of 12 inspiring career experts. So much valuable advice packed into one episode. And yet, as we listen, a few common themes really started to emerge, didn't they?
Absolutely, Antoine. It's fascinating how, despite their unique backgrounds and experiences, our guests' advice often led back to similar core ideas and themes. And I think it's reassuring. It shows that there are some tried and true principles that can guide us all, especially early in our careers.
Yes. So how can we boil all of this wisdom into a few clear takeaways? We've distilled it into 6 key tips for anyone starting out in their professional journey. Let's go through them.
All right. So first, know your values. It's crucial to understand what truly matters to you, your values, the culture that fits you, the skills you want to use. This foundation will guide you towards roles and decisions that feel authentic and rewarding.
Exactly. Second, embrace the journey. Careers are not about having everything figured out from day one. It's a journey with twists, with turns, and sometimes unexpected stops. So exploring and trying different things can open doors you never imagined.
Indeed. Number 3, stay curious and open. In today's unpredictable world, being flexible and opening to new experiences is a huge advantage. Opportunities may arise in the least expected places, and staying curious will help you make the most of them.
Then there is this manage imperfections, which means things won't always go smoothly, especially if you're just starting. So it's okay to stumble. Everyone does. Learning to navigate these bumps builds resilience and keeps you moving forward.
Next, really important, build relationships. Don't underestimate the value of networking and mentorship. Surrounding yourself with people who can offer guidance and different perspectives can be transformative, even if they're only just a few steps ahead of you.
And finally, that brings us to the last piece of career advice. Develop entrepreneurial skills. Whether it's a side project or small hustle, taking on something outside of your day job builds confidence and skills. Plus, it expands your network and teaches you how to handle mistakes along the way.
So there you have it, 6 pieces of advice from our wonderful guests. They're simple ideas, but following any of them, or even all of them, can make a profound difference in building a fulfilling career.
We hope these tips help guide you as you take on the challenges of your own career journey. Remember, it's okay not to have it all figured out. Just stay true to yourself, be open, and enjoy the ride. This actually brings to mind this great quote from George Bernard Shaw, which is, quote, "Life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself."
And that's really what this is all about, embracing the process of growth and transformation along the way. Thank you for listening to this episode of Disrupt Your Career. If you enjoyed it, please share it with someone who might find it valuable, whatever their generation. And stay tuned for more conversations that help you grow in your career. And don't forget to visit our website at www.disrupt-your-career.com for more resources and insights.
Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and remember, you're not alone on this journey. Take care.
Take care.
We hope you enjoyed hearing from this month's guest as much as we did.
Do go and check out our work on disrupt-your-career.com and come back soon. Thank you.